Hey guys, Carton97 again. This time with a review of the 1/100 scale Master Grade Jim from the original Gundam series. And why did I just go Master Grade? Well, this is a mold based on the very first RX-78-2 Master Grade, which was also the very first Master Grade. And to put that into perspective, that kit was released October 1995, which was also when the first Gundam Wing kits were made. So that gives you an idea of what to expect from this quote-unquote Master Grade, which is unfortunately nothing like what we'd expect from a Master Grade, starting off with the colors. And when you look at it like this, it looks pretty good. You've got the usual kind of minty green for almost the entire suit. We have red here, some yellow for the vents, gray for the hands for most of the joints. Then we get to the visor, which instead of being green is just clear. So you have to paint that yourself. Obviously they did have the technology to mold that in color. Just look at the beams. Yeah, I'm not sure why they did that. Is it more cost efficient, or are they just trying to give you the option to paint it in whatever color you like? Whichever one it is, we're not getting it in color. And then we get to the hydraulics of the feet, and these aren't painted. That is absolutely not done in what we now would consider a Master Grade. And then for stickers, fortunately no stickers are needed for this guy, but we do get the usual rub transfer decals. And then we also get some fantastic peel-off stickers. I made some nice high-quality scans because the text on these is just too amazing. Avoid excessive use of controls, peculiarly aileron SAS MS control. Avoid excessive use. Still, even when you know what they're trying to say, it doesn't really make a lot of sense, because I'm pretty sure ailerons are supposed to be on wings. And yeah, not really a lot of wings going on with the Jim. Now we have avoid excessive use of controls, especially ailerons as MS cont. Seems pretty much the same as the previous one. And then roll is marginal because of red set, probably reduced hydraulic flow. Other than that, we just get the standard EFSF symbols. Yeah, the insignia, caution, the name, and one for the Hyper Bazooka. And if you thought that the English was bad, just wait till we get to the articulation. This is where it really shows that this is based on an early Master Grade. The head goes bit up, bit down, turns around all the way. It's on a ball joint, so we'll also wiggle around a little bit. The arms rotate around, no forwards and backwards. Go up about that far, rotate around. And they are double jointed, but that's all you're going to get. As you can see, the arm, it's not the sturdiest arm around. And the hand will turn around, it's on a ball joint, so we'll also wiggle around and do everything a ball joint does. The waist also has a little bit of articulation, goes up around all over the place, and you can see that, yeah, it's once again not the sturdiest connection ever. It's a bit wobbly, so it rotates around a little bit like so. And then we get to the legs, go out about that far, backwards quite nicely like so. Front skirts are of course molded separately. Side skirts go up nicely like so. Legs go out by that far. They are on ball joints, so they will also rotate a little bit. Then the knees, they're double jointed, but yeah, 90 degrees for a Master Grade. And we're talking about a Master Grade with standard human proportions. 90 degrees is absolutely abysmal for what, once again, we would consider a Master Grade. And ooh, yeah, that's something that happens a lot too. the lower arm kinda tends to fall off. Then we get to the feet, bit forwards, bit backwards, somewhat side to side, and turn around about that. Oh, yeah, when you're fortunate enough, they apparently. Oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. So, yeah, normally they. Well, looks like when you force them enough, they will turn around all the way. Footy guard, of course, moves up and down. But yeah, as you can see, for what we consider a master grade, this is actually inferior to a whole bunch of the seed no grades. Of course, the 1/100 scale no grades. But yeah, that's essentially what we're dealing with. This kit is structurally definitely inferior to the 1/100 scales from both Gundam Seed, Gundam Seed Destiny, Gundam 00, even though, yeah, of course they're newer, but hey, this is still supposed to be a master grade, right? But now, let's talk about something that's a hell of a lot better. Accessories. We're gonna start off with the normal gym accessories, and of course with the standard shield, and we get a very cool handle. And yeah, I know this isn't how the manual wants you to put the handle, but if you want them to hold the handle and have it be attached to the arm, that's how you're gonna have to do it. But what I really, really like about this is that also one cool thing is you get the arms aren't identical. You have like some kind of shield attachment thingy going on here. Unfortunately, it's only on the left arm, but you should be able to switch them around. Now, the cool thing about the shield is, if you remove it, there are 3 places where you can attach it, but when you put it in the hand actually kind of slides into it and locks, into place. So he can hold the shield like they do in the video games. Let's put that in there. And that's something not a lot of kits can do. Actually, hardly any, I believe. So I gotta commend them. That's some really good engineering they did on the shield. That's a really, really good job. And like I said, something not a lot of mobile suits with shields actually do. Then, of course, we have the archetypical beam spray gun. Let's put that in his hand. And even though it's a pretty old kit, he holds the beam spray gun without any problems whatsoever. Just arch it up a little bit, and that sits really well into the hand. Oh yeah, one problem when you attach the shield. No, of course the hand now isn't good. Let's quickly attach it. Yeah, he kinda tends to, sag a little bit to the left side, quite unfortunately. And if you don't want to use a shield, well, just take this peg here. There's a hole in the back, and we peg it in there. There we go. And then we get to the last built-in weapon of the gym, the beam sabers. We don't just get one, we get 2 of them. We also get 2 nice clear beam blades, but these are actually different from the ones we get today. For one, they're significantly shorter. The good news is the peg is the same, but you will have to cut the peg of our modern beam saber because they're a bit longer. But once you cut them, you can use a modern beam. Let's put this in there. And just like the beam spray gun, fits into the hands perfectly. And then we're gonna wrap up the final things you get for the gym. Well, for the standard gym, that is. We get 2 closed fist hands and 2 open palm hands. So this is it for the standard gym. But let's say that you want something a bit more powerful. First of all, the beam spray gun. Let's face it, it's not a main weapon if you're an ace pilot. Introducing an extra side skirt. This is the one with the beam spray gun holder. So let's quickly pull this off. Put this in there. Now when you look at the beam spray gun, there's a little peg here, there's a slot over there, and now the beam spray gun has become a sidearm like it should be. And now we can choose, either we're going for a Gundam style double beam saber backpack, or we're going with the bazooka rack backpack. And since we still have the gym backpack on there, let's first have a look at the bazooka rack backpack. Simply put this in here, and as you can see, they are on ball joints, so the beam sabers can also move around a little bit. Then here we have the bazooka itself. No articulation on here at all, with the exception of this little handle here. And what it does is you clip it in here, and then this little handle slides into that holder there. Now we put that back in there. And now our gym suddenly has significantly increased firepower. And the good news is, it doesn't just look good on the back. Once we fiddle around with it a little bit. The good thing about this Master Grade is, everything fits into the hands rather well. This isn't a perfect fit, but it'll do. And there we go. All of a sudden, our dinky little gym has been transformed into a force that's a lot better. And like I said, that's not all. We still have a different backpack. If you want to transform our gym into more of a Gundam look-alike, whoops, let's put this away, pop this out, go, and now we have this different one here, which is reused from the original Gundam. We get the second beam saber, put that in there, and there we go. Double beam sabers. And since we have the Gundam's double beam sabers already, here we have the Gundam's beam rifle. All the articulation you'd expect. We have a movable handle and a movable scope. One unfortunate thing is, of course, because there's no movement at the shoulders, well, the backwards and forwards movement, he can't really hold it with both hands that well. It sits well enough in one of the hands, but when he tries to do one of the more traditional shots, yeah, this doesn't look super convincing. It does the job, but it could have been better if we had a little bit more articulation at the shoulders. It does the job fine enough, but yeah, it could have been a lot better. And we're still not done when it comes to accessories. We of course get a few junk accessories. We get an extra head. We get, I believe these were for the leg thrusters. We get some extras for the core block. We get a set of landing gear for the core fighter. And we get a spare cockpit for the core fighter. And we get this. So yeah, that's all for those junk parts we get. And oh yeah, one thing I almost forgot is these hatches here open up to reveal extra thrusters. And maybe this was the aileron that those decals were referring to. So I won't really call that an aileron though, but that's the closest we can get. So yeah, as you can see, this Jim, once you equip him like you want to, it's a lot more than just a standard grunt mobile suit. Now for a bit more on the core block, Of course, we have the usual opening cockpit. And, ooh. Yeah, we can technically pull it out, but yeah, there we go. As you can see, the bottom isn't really all that secure. So yeah, we have a little pilot in there in the dark. Yeah, you can see him a little bit. It's the usual stuff. Let's put that back in there. Close it up and wrap up the accessories we get. Being a tiny little pilot, and as with all the older monster grades, we also get kinda a cardboard picture, poster kind of thing. And then finally, before we get to the conclusion, two more interesting things I would like to point out. One, back to the beam rifle here, this clip opens up. And it's not just used to connect to the Gundams, because when I bring the Jim Kai over here, it's identical to the connection used on his beam spray gun. So not only can he use the beam spray gun as a sidearm, but also the devastating beam rifle. And the final interesting thing is, inside the vents are these mesh-like thingies. It's a bit weird that they did it because you can't actually see it. When you look at the vents, they're really, really closed off, and it's way too dark to really see in there. So it's some really cool inner detail, but it's absolutely pointless. Unfortunately, because it does look really nice. Yeah, maybe if they'd open up the vents a little bit more, or if they'd given us the option to open the vents, like with the Gym 2.0, that would have been a much more useful feature. And I almost forgot about the heavy user details. Essentially, there are a lot of hooks, what looks like some bolts or things, or attachment thingies, and a bunch of vents. You don't have to use them, but you get the option to make your gym look a little bit more realistic with those, and add a little bit more detail, as if it didn't have enough surface detail already. So that's something really, really cool they did with the older master grades. And I don't quite know why they stopped doing it with the more modern master grades. Maybe not a lot of people use them, maybe to be a bit more cost efficient, or maybe they just think that the modern master grades have enough detail already. As always, the inevitable question is, do you want to buy this? Well, for 2,500 yen, this is definitely a great deal for this gym. You get a shitload of accessories. Yeah, the quality of the kit itself might not be that great. Articulation is pretty abysmal, to be honest, for a master grade. It's still somewhat decent, but for master grades, it's not nearly what you'd expect. But yeah, for its price, with the amount of accessories you get, this would definitely be a great buy. But of course, we have the 2.0 that's out right now. So the question is, this guy or the 2.0? And the thing is, you could debate back and forth all night, because both have their undeniable strong points. The argument for this guy is accessories and customization options. And that is what I find really important for especially grunt mobile suits. Customization. You want this machine to be your mobile suit. It's a grunt, so what better machine to customize and make your own? You can really fine-tune this to the way you want. You get those great up parts. You get 3 different kinds of backpack. You get all the weapons. You can really do whatever you want with this guy. And oh yeah, talking about accessories, I totally forgot about this extra runner. So you can even give your gym a V-fin if you'd want to. So definitely accessories, no argument about there. But then the Gym 2.0 has immensely better articulation, also a lot better stability than this guy. So it really boils down to what is important for you, because I also have to say this looks a lot better than the 2.0 in my opinion. This is a lot leaner and meaner, but unfortunately there's still a significant lack of articulation, which really sets this kit down. And also, you gotta say, for the reduced price, it's not a bad competitor in my opinion. But then we get to the similarly priced Jim Kai, which also looks fantastic, also comes with very good accessories. Oh, mind you, you don't get the Hyper Bazooka and the EFSF insignia here. Both of those came with the RX-78-2 version Katoki. So yeah, when you consider that these two are the same price, well, you can once again start debating back and forth which one is the better, because there's really no definite answer here. All of them have their strong points and their weak points. But the point of this review is this guy, and I would say 2,500 yen, is definitely worth it. If you have a lot of gems, well, this guy has a lot of accessories to pass around. No doubt about it. And let's do another comparison shot with our little Jim here. And once again, I'll say, keep into account that this is based on a very early master grade, and when building this, you really see how master grades have progressed over the years. This, you can't even compare it to the more modern master grades, such as, well, the recently released Strike Gundam here. These are just worlds apart. You can't even compare these two in terms of quality, in terms of whatever. But yeah, the important part, of course, is there's still the price, which is very good. And that's pretty much all for this review, and see you guys next time.